penalty. I don't know much about football, but even I know that stuff's incredible. Will you please welcome the one and only David Beckham?
Anybody else? When I think about you, I touch myself. Anybody else? Oh no, oh no, oh no, I touch myself.
Well, looking good, David. Looking good, looking so... How dapper does David look, ladies and gentlemen? You know, there's been a lot of excitement since we said you on the show. A lot of people here obviously very excited. Are you used to that kind of Beckham effect? Are you used to that? Do you feel the ripple as you walk through a shopping centre or sit down in the cinema? Do you feel that kind of, it's David Beckham, it's David Beckham, it's David Beckham?
You kind of do. You never get used to it. I think it's one of those things that always amazes me. You know, when you do walk past people and, you know, it's a double take and...
Women fall over. Yeah.
I don't know about that anymore, but...
yeah, that's right, because you've so lost your looks. Well, you know what? Let's deal with the... Let's talk about the World Cup, shall we?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not the biggest football fan in the world. I'm not that knowledgeable about football. I was watching. I was enjoying it very much indeed. Where did we go wrong as a team, or did we do as well as we were ever going to do you think?
You know, I think first off we have to congratulate South Africa because I think it was a successful World Cup. You know,
people didn't think they'd be able to pull it off, but they did a fantastic job.
I think there was a lot of doubts before the World Cup, and once it got underway, the fans had, you know, an enormous amount of fun, and you know, it was a great atmosphere to be around. And I think in the end, you know, Spain winning, they deserve to win because they played the best football.
It's a great year for Spanish sport with Nadal at the top and then winning the World Cup as well.
It's great, and you know, I've still got friends that play in that team, and I was happy for them and happy for the country because I know how much it means to them. Obviously, with England, it was disappointing because I think every time we go into a big competition, you know, the expectation levels are so high, and rightly so, because we have got some of the best players in Europe.
We want to win, that's fair enough,
of course.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And our nation, you know, there's no better country in the world that comes together like we come together on a big occasion, especially World Cups. Yeah. You know, our fans are the number one in the world.
You feel the support. You must have known even over there how crazy people were going here.
Without a doubt. You know, you feel the build-up beforehand, and then, you know, we're out of it then, and then, you know, you just hear it from family or from friends. But we know the support that we get.
So what happened then? Why did we get... You know, I mean, because that was quite a bad thrashing we received at the hands of our German neighbours.
I think at the end of the day, you know, we know and they know as a team, the players, that they didn't perform at the end of the day. And I think when you play at that level, you have to perform, and we just didn't. And so that's the reason why we went out early.
In terms of they didn't come together, was a team properly, or individuals maybe weren't on top of their game? You
know, I always look at it as, you know, it's not about individuals, we're a team. And we enjoyed the good times, which we did enjoy the good times in the qualifiers. We qualified, you know, unbelievably. But then when the bad times come together, you stick together. It's not about the individuals in the team. It's not about the individual players, the great players that we've got performing. Well, we don't look at it like that. We look at it as, you know, it's about a team. Yeah, without doubt, it's not the manager's fault.
Well, let me ask you a question. This might sound like an incredibly stupid question, but Mr. Capello, his English isn't... He doesn't have the most fluent grasp of English. No. OK, and some of the team perhaps don't speak Italian that well, I would have thought. Is that a problem? I know a lot of the people, you know, a lot of different teams have... they just get the best person for the job, and the language isn't an issue. But do you think it could be an issue? I can't help but see it can't be a little bit of an issue.
No, because he only speaks English to the players.
But does he speak it? Can he communicate in the way that you could communicate, for example, if, for example, you decided to do the job?
I think he does, because he's a manager that's renowned around the world for the way he is and the person he is and how strict he is.
He's very no-nonsense, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's obviously afterwards, because we didn't do as well as people had hoped, people were saying he should go. He should go. I get the feeling you don't agree with that.
No, and I don't think any of the players agree with that, because I think, you know, he gave us everything. He gave the team everything to go out there and perform. And, you know, the team didn't perform. It's literally down to the players, and the players know that. You know, they're honest enough. People talk about, you know, do players care? They're on a certain amount of money. You know, they like nice cars. They like going on nice holidays. Do they care about the football? Trust me, these players care about winning.
Do you ever give them, if they're down in that break, the half-time thing, You ever give one of them a hug? Like if one of them looked like they were going to
I think
cry,
I've been hugged before.
would you give them a hug?
I've been hugged
Who's
before.
hugged you? In the half-time gap.
It was one of the Brazilian players
Did he?
from Madrid.
Was this was
Roberto
unexpected? Was this you were
Roberto
getting
Carlos.
changed and he ran out, did he? It was one of those things. Beckham! Well, that's the one. That was a friendly hug.
Yeah.
How nice. And did it cheer you up? Did you feel good?
It made me feel happy, yeah.
Made you feel... Who doesn't love a hug from a Brazilian?
I love a hug.
So would you give out a hug?
If I felt one of the players wanted a hug...
Look, imagine I'm Wayne Rooney, all right?
Yeah.
Imagine I'm Wayne Rooney. Oh, our lad, I didn't do no goal. Right? Balderdash. I'm upset, right? Oh, I'm down in the dumps over here. So what would you say? Oh, bloody hell, I shouldn't go out again.
I'd probably...
David,
You're
David.
a little bit bigger than Wayne, so I'd say...
Oh, David. Oh, David. Is it all right?
Yeah.
I'll go and get a goal.
Yeah.
I'll get a goal.
And then you get
Thank you, David. By the way, you've got very hot buttocks, David. I don't know where he's meant to be from now. He's gone from the West Country. That was a lovely hug. I enjoyed that. And now there'll be lots of women just trying to get close to me for some of that second-hand Beckham action. You've been answering fans. You've been talking to fans online this week.
Yeah.
And they've been giving you questions about, I guess, about the World Cup, I guess about football in general, your career. How is that? Do you like engaging with people that way? Do you get a chance often enough to do that?
Yeah,
kind of thing?
this Yahoo thing that I did this afternoon, I was sat there and I was interviewed by fans from 19 different countries all at the same time, which was pretty amazing. You know,
I guess because you're known all over the world. I mean, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
What kind of questions? Any that you didn't expect? Any surprise you?
There was a few questions that surprised me, but you know, certain things like what would I do, you know, out in my spare time and stuff like that. So it was a normal kind of
And what
thing.
do you do? We know what you do. You hang out with Snoop Dogg. That's what you do in your spare time. Everyone knows this. You're out there teaching
No,
them
do
to
you
rap.
know what I actually do, which will probably surprise you? I love Lego.
You love Lego.
I love Lego.
You put together Legos.
And the funny thing was, right, I shouldn't probably tell this story, but I will. When I was in Milan for the 6 months I was sat there in my room and I thought, right, what can I do? Because I'm bored. I haven't got my children, I haven't got my wife
I
with
guess
me.
you can't just go out. You're going to get snapped everywhere you go.
No. So I went online and had a look what Lego was online.
What was available.
So
You're sure that's all you were looking at online without the family there with you?
Yeah. And there was a Taj Mahal. So I bought a Taj Mahal. And
You bought the Lego Taj Mahal?
yeah, it's amazing.
Not actual size.
No, obviously not actual size. So I bought it, and it arrived, and I started building it, and then I got injured, and then I had to go back home, so I never finished it. But my kids are obsessed by Lego. So then, you know, I'm good friends with James Corden. So I texted him, I said, can you believe it? I'm playing Man United in 2 days, and I'm sat here building the Taj Mahal. And he sent one back saying, can you believe it? I'm sat in a hotel and I'm so bored, I just said to myself, should I shower? He said, I'm talking to myself. So we're both having this really boring conversation. I'm playing Man United in 2 days and building Taj Mahal.
Did you ever get to finish the Taj Mahal?
No.
You know, I know exactly what to get you for Christmas now. But that's a lovely... I can see why you'd enjoy that. But you've got a bit of OCD going on, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
You're
I
a little
really
bit...
have,
Because someone I know said they'd been in your house. Don't worry, they were invited. It wasn't a stalker. They said you have to have the drink labels lined up a certain way in the fridge and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, if there's like 2 bottles of water and 2 bottles of Coke and 2 bottles of Sprite, if there's an extra can, then I take it out and put it in the cupboard and hide it.
So it's got to be 2 and 2 and 2?
Yeah.
So you don't like the odds?
No.
And if the two there, do you have the labels facing...
I have the labels facing perfectly, and it really, like, Victoria will go in and just tweak it a little bit, and then I'll go in and annoy me. But there's other things...
No, why would she do that? Why would she want to annoy you?
Because well, it's the same, you know, I'm really tidy, and, you know, that's why we're kind of perfect, because
So
she'll mess up the house and I'll tidy it up.
What's the worst thing she leaves home? Is it old knickers? There's some tights over there?
No, the old knickers I don't mind. That's no,
Depends how big the pile gets, though, doesn't it? If there's a year's supply, you get cross.
You've seen the size of it. The knickers are only small.
I can imagine. Imagine it looks like a bit of tooth floss lying on the floor, doesn't it?